first thing you're going to be looking at on the outside is the static port.
Okay.
Okay. And areas that run into issue is if somebody put tape on it or bugs crawl in there type of thing. But you will have dysfunctional instrumentation if that's covered over. Then once you come over and now you're under the wing already, you want to take a look at the tire, make sure that the threads are going to be exposed, that you've got no fluid that's sitting around the outside edges.
Okay.
You check your fuel. This is the lowest point on the tank, and all we're looking for is you'll see small, it would look like tapioca, like small balls, if you had water in there.
Okay.
So the biggest thing is that you want to make sure that it is clear. Then as we start coming around to the side over here, this is called the pedal tube. Again, you're looking to make sure that the cover's off. That's why you put a long streamer, just to make sure it's obvious. This is what's going to be giving your airspeed.
Okay.
And you want to, again, make sure there's no bugs, critters, or anything else going in there. Tie down straps, you don't get very far if there's Is there anything that's in there? Is it covered over? As the airplane, it's called the angle of attack. As it gets to a specific angle of attack, usually at 16 degrees or greater, the air will start to enter. You'll start to get indications to the aircraft is moving into a state. And that's what the maneuvers are working through this terrain. Any type of discoloration on the rivets, so not tall enough, you may have to put yourself up and have a look. But if you see the rivets, now the tops are worn off because of putting on wing covers. But if you actually see around that they've been popped, the paint has been popped off, you've got a possibility of structural damage to the airplane. So was it twisted in a maneuver? So that's one of the things you want to be looking at from that side. Looking to make sure you got no major physical damage. The wing caps, making sure they're in place. Your ailerons, you can see on the aileron. What I want to look for is when I move this to the top, I want to see that the control yoke is also moving. See inside? I look inside the aircraft, and you can see the control yoke moving.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that's up, and it's coming and meeting this side of it. Make sure that all of the screws are in place, pins are in place. On the flaps, 2 key points, making sure that number 1 is that they're down equally, because you can imagine what will happen if flaps don't extend equally.
Yeah.
That you'll get excessive pressure on one side, reducing on the other. Are the bolts in place? This is what you end up actually utilizing to control and extend.
Okay.
Making your way around the aircraft, antennas are in place. Your elevator surface is moving free and clear. I also take a look inside on the horns to make sure that the bolts are in place. So if you come down here, you can actually see connectors. And I want to make sure that everything is where it needs to be.
Take that off.
The rudder, although on a Cessna there is play in it, on a Cherokee there's not. But again, you're looking for, are both sides connected? Am I in place and am I getting movement? This is your rudder trim, or your elevator trim, sorry. This little bar in here. So as we start flying the airplane, we'll actually, on the panel, we can move this ever so slightly to put the airplane into trim. We just want to make sure that it moves, the elevator moves freely. Back to the other side. Now we're doing the same thing as we did in the opposite. Looking for the bolts, making sure they're, again, even. If this goes up, where should the stick go? If I'm moving this up, where should that control column go?
Right.
Exactly. Then we know it's been wired properly. Taking a look across the top. No issue with the rivets.
Nope.
When you look at the lights on an airplane, you're going to have a red and a green. And the red is always on the port side, which is, there's 2 easy ways to remember port, because port's only got 4 letters, and so does left.
Yeah.
So
Left side and green on the right.
And that's right. And so if you want to remember it, there's no more red port wine left. So that means the red light's always going to be on the left side of the airplane, but if you're looking at it and you see the red light, that means it's coming towards you.
Okay.
That's the reasoning for, so you're going to have red, white on the tail, and green over on the right. All these are is the air intakes up here in the corners of the window.
Mm-hmm.
Check the fuel again.
Clear.
It's clear. And then what we're looking for in here is two things. The oil, you want it around 4, which it is. And then we do have another fuel strainer. Down underneath the aircraft, there's a small tube that comes out the back. And then I want to be able to see, that's the lowest point of the engine. So I want to see if there's any moisture in it. And as you can see, there's not much room for looking down inside that engine compartment. So I'm just doing a quick general, looking for anything as far as fuel or...
Is this the battery right here?
Yes. And you're looking for, do we have any liquids or oils at the bottom? Looking outside the bottom of the engine compartment, do I have anything laying around? Prop. You're going to run your hand over the edge of the prop, and are you feeling for any nicks? If there's any nicks in it, you may have picked up a stone, and what you can potentially then get is fracture. So you want to make sure that it's in where it needs to be. Never pull on a prop out in the edges. If you're going to pull, it's right tight inside, otherwise we use a tow bar.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it for a walk around. You can see we can't gain access to this side. So now the next thing